Hello, Professor Knapp. Tyler Tankka here. Um, and this is the video of the MLK um, letters from Birmingham. So, after reading Dr. Luther King Jr.'s letters from Birmingham, um, I realized that he was saying that there are many, many unjust laws the blacks were going through in that time. Dr. King was put in jail because he, in quote, defied the state court's injunction and led March Without a Permit, urging an Easter boycott of white-owned stores. This letter got put in the newspapers with help of Dr. King's lawyer while he was still in jail. The state of Alabama also thought they were going to be violent protesters and would cause harm to the community. This was not the case whatsoever. Dr. King was called by a connection he had in Birmingham to have a nonviolent direct action protest, which King agreed to instantly. He was number one for doing things peacefully, even so that when it came to protests on Easter, they decided to do this because they were super busy. They could reach a lot of people. Dr. King and his associates realized that there was an election coming up and didn't want to affect the election, so they postponed. And again, the protest was postponed because there was a runoff in the election and wanted to wait until after so they didn't affect the outcome once again. And Dr. King talked about nonviolent direct action in this. Direct action means instead of negotiating with someone about something, you go straight for the streets and take action with protests such as sit-ins, boycotts, and blocking things or what have you. Dr. King and his associates used this nonviolent direct action technique because places already wouldn't negotiate integration, so it would then cause such tension that in the community that the city or state would be obligated to take care of this issue. At this time in history, because black people were tired of how they were treated and demoralized, there were lots of violent black nationalist groups going up all over the country. Also, there were, especially with older folks, dealt with this constant beat down for so long, they just became complacent to the whole situation. And what Dr. King tried to do is to bring the two sides together. And in this letter, Dr. King says, "The Negro has many pent-up resentments and latent frustrations, and he must release them. So I let him march, let him make prayer pilgrimages to the city hall, let him go on freedom rides, and try to understand why he must do so. If his repressed emotions are not released in nonviolent ways, they will seek expression through violence. This is not a threat, but a fact of history. So I have not said to my people, get rid of your discontentment. Rather, I've tried to say that this normal and healthy contentment can be channeled through a creative outlet of nonviolent direct action. Yet now this approach is being termed extremist." This statement I couldn't agree more with. I myself, with being through Alcoholics Anonymous, as an alcoholic, if you have been harboring any anger, resentment, or sorrow, anything like that, you don't let it out or talk to somebody, you will without a doubt go back to drinking, or let it out in very unhealthy ways. This I saw was also kind of mentioned in the Bible at James 5:16. "Therefore confess your sins to each other so that you may be healed. Prayer of a righteous person is powerful and effective." So I can relate to this because I used to also have so much pent up anger and bitterness, and the only way I knew how to let this out was alcohol. I had to find healthier ways to deal with this. Finding healthy ways for Dr. King's fellow brothers is what he was trying to do during all this, and he didn't want them to sit back and do nothing or become violent and destroy communities. Dr. King was trying to be a peacemaker and make the South and other places a godly and just place. And in doing this, many whites didn't see the same way that Dr. King saw. They went out of their way to hinder his attempts to do his advocacies, the things he was trying to do, and in turn he was imprisoned. He wanted the Birmingham police and others to know during this letter that what they did was unjust and the laws are unjust as well. And he won't quit until what he is trying to do is seen through and these laws are changed. Thank you.